Friday, December 29, 2023. Oil pump solenoid. I was expecting to be a part 2. Okay. Like I said to my friends, I said yesterday I uploaded one video for the oil pump solenoid. Alright, this video. Now I'm pointing the screen, and yesterday I was pointing again the screen. Go figure out. Yeah. Anyhow. Whatever I said on this video, I explained also to a couple of friends of mine that they asked me, alright? And what I told them, as soon as I'm gonna upload the video, go and read the comments. One gentleman on the comment section, it says that, you know what, the previous oil pumps, they didn't have this function, they didn't have this solenoid, and it was running at full oil pressure. See, do not compare these things because it's two different things. The 113K oil pump, it's completely different than the M157, M278, M177. Alright? You can compare the 113K oil pump with 156 oil pump because they have similar inner gears, same material, same housing, similar housing, not the same design, but the dimensions are very close. Okay? Also, the scavenging pump that's sucking the oil from the front and it's dumping it back on the primary pump, it's the same design, but not the same dimensions exactly. But again, you can compare the 113K with 156. You can compare the 159 oil pump from the SLS with M157, okay, with 278, with 177 LS1 and LS2. LS1 and LS2 M177, as far as I know, as far as I remember, they have the same oil pump. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. It just don't have the notch back like the M157 that has for the turbocharger oil return. So, what's my point? My point is here on the comment section. If you ask 100 people, you're gonna get 100 different answers. That's my point. Okay? As an example, one gentleman here, I'm not blaming anybody, I'm not saying something bad or good, alright? It is what it is. Example, one gentleman here, if I unplug the oil pump solenoid, will it throw an alarm on the dashboard? If it comes at check engine or we're gonna have a fault? That means you're okay by unplugging it and you're worried only if it comes at check engine. I understand, partially, not fully, but it's okay. It's one question. The thing is, you have to be fully aware. You need to know why it's there and that you cannot expect to last the oil for 15,000 kilometers. That's my point. If you are, let us say, I mentioned that yesterday, if you are in a cold country and you start your engine and you have -10 and you're waiting to warm up the oil, you're stressing much more the pump that it's running the shaft through the front cover, it's aluminum, and the rear one, the rear housing, it's magnesium. It's not that strong. So when you're applying much more force and you have a cold start, you're gonna suffer the pump in long terms. You know, that's why I'm saying it's purely up to its owner if they decide to disconnect it or if we're gonna keep it connected. Now, regarding the scoring in the cylinders, when you bend the connecting rod and the piston starts touching the cylinder wall, you're gonna have a scoring. If you lean it up, if you tune the car, you increase the ignition timing, you increase the boost, and then you keep it, let us say, lambda 0.9 volts, as an example, what do you think is going to happen with the piston rings? The piston ring, especially the top one, is going to expand that much that you're going to start eating the cylinder itself. Or you're going to break the piston because you're not going to have anywhere to go. This is common sense. But if you have a fuel injector failure, the fuel injector failure, I have mentioned that before, it's if you was able to cut the fuel inside of the combustion chamber like suddenly, completely, to go, let us say, from 12 to 1 the ratio to 0 fuel inside, you're not gonna have a mixture, you're not gonna have fuel, so you're not gonna have temperatures. So you're not gonna be able to crack a piston or melt a piston or burn the piston ring. But this usually is not happening. What's happening usually if something go wrong? It goes the air-fuel ratio, you have in one stroke, as an example, 12 to 1, then it goes 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and until it makes the correction the ECU, yes, it's fast, the ECU, but you're gonna get away once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. There will gonna be a time that you're gonna melt everything. You're gonna have a problem. That's a different story. Then, I can bring here right now at least 3-4 customers that I have built them an engine, an M157, with the stock pistons, stock connecting rods. But the connecting rods that I put inside of the engines, of these engines, it was from 5 or 6 different M157s. That means I had how many connecting rods? I check which one was the straightest one, because yeah, if you get it even bone stock, brand new engine, it's not perfect straight. I have mentioned that before, it's not something new. None of the connecting rods from the production line, it's perfect straight, but on the M157 it's suffering a little bit more, if you are asking me. It's not perfect straight. So I can bring you here at least 3-4 customers that they are running an M157 right now, and what I told them that the connectors that I choose for you, it's out of 3, 4, 5 engines. I don't even remember from how many. I measure it, the height to see that straight, all right, and then I use it. And I said that you have much more chances to don't bend the connectors with this way than to have one engine from the production line. But again, this doesn't mean that I'm right. I'm just what I have seen with my experience and what I have seen till now. That's what I'm talking about. Once again, do not compare an oil pump from a 113 or you can compare 113 with 156. Yes, similar. You can compare, like I said, 157, 278, 159, M177, and some other 4-cylinder engines or V6 engines, not AMG, or even an AMG, they're similar. But comparing the small gears that have the 113K with also the M156 and the M113K with the one single gear of the 157, it's not right. These pumps, they have so small gears inside that they can pump even grease. Just saying, you understand what I'm saying, right? They're not suffering. The other one, it's much different. It's much bigger, the gear, and has a fins on it. It's different type. It looks like the M157 oil pump. It looks most like the power steering pump. You know, if you open a power steering pump, you're gonna see that it's similar to the M157 pump. And it's not the only for the M157. I'm just saying for that. Talking about the M157 now. Again, that's exactly my point. That you see, let us say, okay, there are not so many comments. There are 21 comments, if I remember right, currently. Yeah. You see different things. And that's my point. That for each person, one guy, he'll gonna tell you, you know what, I'm gonna change the oil every 15, what there's adjusting from the factory. But I will gonna unplug the plug. Example, yes, you will gonna find that person. Trust me, believe it or not. All right? Or some other people, they're gonna tell you, I'm changing oil every 5,000 kilometers, example, and I'm gonna deactivate it. But you are in North Europe, you're in a cold country, and you might have an oil pump failure later on. Again, it's not, do not compare 113 or 156 or older pumps with these pumps. Fine, that's what I'm saying. And see, at the end of the day, I'm not judging anybody. I'm not saying remove it or keep it on. It's not that. It's about that. Just think, balance it, see if it's better, and apply and do it. It's gonna be much better if you talk to one tuner to explain, at least to read the software and explain what's it's different, by the way, it's different for the S-Class, different for the C-Class, different for the E-Class. It's not the same thing. C-Class, I'm talking about 205, M177. You can unplug it also on the 177 engine if you want. So they're going to have a different strategy. It depends the engine, depends the model of the car. You're not going to be the same. You're not going to have the same management from the software the E63 Formatic 2014 with the E63S 2019. Okay, it's similar pumps, okay, but I doubt they're gonna be the same on the software. Most probably they have update something. I don't know. I'm not a tuner. Just be aware of what you're doing. Search it. And like I said, if you ask 100 people, they're gonna give you 100 different answers. They're gonna say 100 different things. It's not, for me, from my side, you're never gonna hear me, you know what, yes, I'm gonna unplug it, or no, I'm gonna plug it. This is, like I said yesterday, only if the owner, he said to me, Tassos, unplug it. Or you know what, no, keep it there. Actually, if it doesn't say to me something, it will gonna be plugged, all right? That's what I have to say. Now, if it's for a drag race, if it's for a racing application, that's completely different story. It's totally different story, all right? That's it pretty much. I hope that I make myself clear. At the end of the day, that's my opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm right, okay? It might be completely different. It's just what I'm thinking. And to have a peace of mind, like I said, I'm plugging it in. I don't want to come anybody here and say to me that, you know what, I explode my pump and then I have a problem with my engine, or I didn't have an oil pressure. How many people they have an oil pressure gauge? Forget the S-class. The rest. Right? Yeah. So that's it pretty much. Thank you very much. Let me start working here. It's early morning and I said, you know what? Let's make one video. By the way, regarding the pumps, this is electric pump. It's an oil pump for transmission. Then you have the mechanical one. This is also pump, but it's different. Different gears here, different gears here. The power steering pump, like I said before. The hydraulic pump for the suspension on S-class example, on the older one. Each pump, it's been designed for some specific fluid and for some specific temperatures, and to do either you need more flow or you need more pressure. It depends where you're running each pump. Again, the M157 pump, it's partially, one piece it's magnesium, the other piece it's aluminum, and you have the shaft in the middle. If you see on my videos when I'm opening the pumps, because in all of the builds, especially in high mileage engines, I'm opening the pumps to make sure that the pumps are okay, that they don't have a stupid clearance that didn't eat the housing sideways like usually, and you're gonna be able to run another 200,000 kilometers the pump. So if you see previous videos with the oil pumps, you're gonna see the signs, what I'm talking about. And if you stress more the pump, I don't know how it's gonna end up. I don't have any data. It's not like that I make one test, let us say, I unplug it, and the customer, the owner, he make, let us say, 200,000 kilometers, and then I open it to see the difference. And again, this will gonna be only one person. It's different to have a data from 10 engines or 20 engines, and one guy, he's running, let us say, 10W60, the other guy is running 5W40, as an example. One guy is driving normal, the other guy is pedal to the metal. That's the reason why I'm saying that you cannot put everything in one bag. That's my point. Even the builds, one thing, sorry, I said that I'm gonna finish the video. Yeah. For the M157, the sleeved block with the piston and connector rods, this is not optimized per person. What I mean by that, you can do it much better. You can build the M157, not better from reliability. I'm talking about you're gonna sacrifice reliability to get much more performance. Yes, you can do it, you know, but to cover all the variables, because we're talking about street use cars, all right, street legal, and you don't say that I'm not building an M157 engine for a drag race for one season. That's different. Okay, it's different to build for one season that you're expecting to last one season, and you have also another one engine as a backup, and different to expect this engine to make 300,000 kilometers, because that's my expectations, and that's what I have seen till now, that they can go up to 300,000 kilometers, and the only problem what you're gonna have, you're gonna be the timing chain. They're gonna be stretched. All right, so that's my target. It's not, you have to balance reliability with performance. Makes sense, right? So that's what I have to say. Anything else? Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you very much. Have a good day. How I went to the engine builds from the oil pump. Yeah. Do not compare the not correct, not same pumps. It's not right. okay? And be aware of what you're doing. That's my input on this thing. All right. Again, yeah. Again, part 2. That's it. Finish. Thank you.